Good day. Here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Lagos State Governor seeks stakeholders' collaboration in advancing water transportation in Nigeria. Federal government issues 7 days ultimatum for enforcement of helicopter landing levies. On the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump describes NATO's new defense spending as big win for Europe, Western civilization. And in sport, Nigeria Basketball Federation releases D Tigers professional roster ahead AfroBasket Championship in Cote d'Ivoire. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State government has extended an invitation to interested stakeholders to invest in the state's waterways, stating that with over 20 water terminals and plans for more jetties in the pipeline, the state offers a viable and vibrant market for private sector participation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this call at the 2025 Regional Ferry Safety Conference themed Charity Safer Waters, Advancing Ferry Safety Through Innovation, Collaboration and Integrated Transport Solutions. The governor, who spoke through the deputy governor, Obafemi Hamzat, stated that the collaboration would build a future where waterways in the state are not only safe, but also a model of efficiency and sustainability. Governor Sanwo-Olu said the state government has collaborated with the relevant authorities for the Coastal Resilience Initiative, supported by WaterAid Nigeria and the UK's Blue Planet Fund, which exemplifies how public-private partnerships can address coastal risks and promote sustainable water transport. He said the heart of the state's approach to ferry safety is innovation, elucidating that his administration is exploring the future of water transportation through initiatives like the Omioko project. In his address, Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiemi stated that collaboration, innovation and vigilance play a vital role in the journey of maritime safety, noting that it is essential for Nigeria to recognize that maritime safety is not a destination, but rather a continuous journey. Lagos State government has reaffirmed its commitment to gender equality and women's economic empowerment through public procurement. Commissioner for Finance and Chairman, Governing Board, Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Abayomi Oluyomi, stated this at the high-level policy dialogue on gender-responsive public procurement. In his remarks, the commissioner emphasized that increasing women's participation in business would expand the state's tax base, foster inclusive growth, and contribute significantly to sustainable development. Oluyomi reaffirmed Lagos State's dedication to supporting initiatives that promote women's economic empowerment and financial inclusion. Also speaking, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Bolaji Dada, said gender-responsive public procurement is a transformative strategy, not just a policy discourse, describing it as a tool for social and economic change that creates space for women to thrive as entrepreneurs and financial inclusion, as entrepreneurs, suppliers, and service providers. In his submission, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, highlighted the importance of integrating gender considerations into procurement policies, saying that deliberate inclusion of women-owned businesses is a vital step towards economic equity. In a bid to break the Guinness Book of Records, a Lagos broadcaster, Omishope Olani, popularly known as Babaomi, has embarked on an ambitious quest to secure a spot for 160 hours continuous radio presentation. In a statement, media entrepreneur Toyin Ganiu said the event, titled One Man, One Mic, 13 Shows, is aimed at pushing the boundaries of radio broadcasting and entertain audience like never before. According to him, it will also demonstrate the power of collaboration in the media industry. The statement added that already Olani has completed 100 hours of non-stop broadcasting, showcasing his unwavering dedication and energy. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to helicopter operators into oil fields, terminals, platforms, rigs, floating production storage and offloading unit helipads, airstrips and aerodromes to communicate their proposed payment plans and modalities for applicable air navigation levies to the firm. In a public notice issued by the Nigerian Aerospace Management Agency, NAMA, on behalf of the federal government, the agency cautioned that failure to comply with the stipulated time frame will trigger appropriate enforcement measures, including denial of flight clearance for the affected operators. According to the government, the proposed enforcement measure is not merely to enforce regulatory compliance, but to safeguard national security, enhance aviation safety, promote operational sustainability, as well as ensure continued efficiency of Nigeria's aviation ecosystem in alignment with international obligations and globally accepted best practices. It added that the enforcement of helicopter levies aligns with global best practices and is currently implemented across international civil aviation organizations, member states in Europe, Asia, and the Americas. The federal government has stated that Nigeria's evolving tax system is being designed to address the challenges faced by taxpayers while enhancing domestic revenue generation, particularly in light of the country's ongoing economic reforms and diversification efforts. Minister of State for Finance Doris Uzoka Anite said this in Abuja at the Tax ADR Roundtable themed Unlocking Revenue and Strengthening Dispute Resolution, a roadmap to tax ADR in Nigeria. Uzoka Anite reiterated that the country is building a more responsive tax administration framework that not only ensures efficient revenue mobilization, but also prioritizes fairness, taxpayer engagement, and efficient resolution of disputes. She said the theme of the roundtable encouraged a shift from adversarial tax enforcement to fostering consensus-driven approaches to reduce adversarial interactions and create a system where disputes are resolved through timely dialogue. Also speaking at the event, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, said the government must expand its revenue base through taxation without resorting to coercive measures. Now to foreign news. United States President Donald Trump has described NATO leaders' agreement to ramp up defense spending to 5% of their country's economic output by 2035 as a big win for Europe and Western civilization. Members, in a joint statement at a summit in The Hague, said that they were united against profound security challenges, singling out the long-term threat posed by Russia and terrorism. NATO leaders reaffirmed their ironclad commitment to the principle that an attack on one NATO member would lead to a response from the full alliance. The statement did not include a condemnation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine as it had a year ago. The Hague summit has been described by several leaders as historic, and decisions made on Wednesday would include continued support for Ukraine while pushing for peace. Now, sport. The Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF) has released a 20-player provisional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket tournament set to hold in Côte d'Ivoire this summer. The provisional list includes the core of the side that won the last Afrobasket tournament in Kigali, Rwanda in 2023, plus a mixture of emerging talent. Headlining the squad are experienced veterans Ezine Kalu and Promise Amu Kamara. The coach Rena Wakama-led side are the reigning holders of the continental competition and will be looking to win an unprecedented fifth consecutive title when the team touches down in the Francophone nation. And that was the news at noon. Just before we go, always use the walkway where available to avoid accident. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered 600 women with ingenious business ideas to the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Fund W initiative to empower Lagosians? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has extended an invitation to interested stakeholders to invest in the state's waterways, stating that with over 20 water terminals and plans for more jetties in the pipeline, the state offers a viable and vibrant market for private sector participation. The federal government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to helicopter operators into oil fuels terminals, platforms, rigs, floating production storage and offloading unit helipads, airstrips and aerodromes to communicate their proposed payment plans and modalities for applicable air navigation levies to the firm. Also told you that United States President Donald Trump has described NATO leaders' agreement to ramp up defense spending to 5% of the country's economic output by 2035 as a big win for Europe and Western civilization. And in sport, the Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF) has released a 20-player professional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's AfroBasket tournament set to hold in Cote d'Ivoire this summer. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Adeswa Ejoyaka. I am Dele Agadumo. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening.